ready? Okay, calling to order regular council meeting Tuesday, April 16th, 2019. The time is now 6:31. Dr. Jackson, call the roll.
Council Austin is absent. Council Martin.
Present.
Council Gaddison.
Present.
Council Smith.
Present.
Council Graham.
Present.
We have our Honorable Mayor King present for the administration.
Now before, okay,
Chief Salih.
Chief Salih.
Fire Department.
you can go ahead and read the rules. You have Dr. Jackson.
Okay, just gonna read briefly through the rules from the Sunshine Law regarding resident meeting and attendance conduct for meetings. Sunshine Law, page 95, chapter 2. Duties of the public body, section 3, right to hear, but not to be heard or to disrupt. All meetings of any public body are declared to be public meetings open to the public at all times. The Open Meetings Act does not provide or prohibit attendees the right to be heard at the meetings, and the public body must place limitations on the time, place, and manner of access to its meetings as long as the restrictions are content neutral and narrowly tailored to serve the significant governmental interests. Further, a disruptive person waives his or her right to attend meetings, and the body may have the person removed from the meeting. Okay, the East Cleveland Charter, Codified Ordinances, Chapter 5, General Offense Code 509.04. No person with purpose to prevent or disrupt a lawful meeting, a session, or gathering shall do either the following: do any act which obstructs or interferes with the due conduct of such meeting, or session, or gathering, make any utterance, gesture, or display which outrages the sensibilities of the group. Whoever violates this section is guilty of disturbing a lawful meeting. Lastly, ordinance 2917.12, disturbing a lawful meeting. No person with purpose to prevent or disrupt a lawful meeting, session, or gathering shall do either the following: do any act which obstructs or interferes with the due conduct of the meeting, session, or gathering, make any utterance, gesture, or display which outrages the sensibilities of the group. Whoever violates this section is guilty of disturbing a lawful meeting, a misdemeanor of the fourth degree.
Thank you. We have some guests in the house, and I want to thank everyone for coming. We have some guests in the house from University Hospitals, Dr. Daniel Simon. And I'd like to get a motion to amend the agenda so that the proclamation can be read right now.
Madam President, I move that we amend the agenda for University Hospital EMS department so it can be read.
Okay, Councilor Martin,
Yay.
Councilor Gaddison,
Yay.
Councilor Smith,
Yay.
and Councilor Graham.
Yeah.
Would you like to read now? It's an honor to read this. And I see our Chief Salih is here from the fire department. This is Office of the City of Council of the City of East Cleveland. Proclamation to honor University Hospital EMS. The Science, Health, and Art of Compassion. Whereas the University Hospital EMS Education Department has established a collaborative relationship with the City of East Cleveland and the Fire Department, and the University Hospital EMS Education Department's relationship with East Cleveland Fire Department has established medical control over the protocols, supplies, and education for that department. And University Hospital's EMS Education Department has a medical and EMS director, Jeff Luck and Jeff Zeller, both practicing medical doctors and practicing emergency medicine. And both directors of University Hospital EMS Education Department are experts in their field with former experience as a fire chief, current EMTP instruction background, and paramedic experience. And whereas the University Hospital EMS Education Department is 100% committed to the EMS and fire industry and is committed to working with the East Cleveland Fire Department to help save more lives in the community. And whereas University Hospital's EMS Education Department believes in collaboration with the fire department that are under their medical control, as well as the community that they serve, should have a healthy relationship with the partnering hospital system. And now, therefore, be it resolved on behalf of the entire East Cleveland City Council and Mayor Brandon L. King, we are excited to engage that partnership with the City of East Cleveland Fire Department and the University Hospital EMS Education Department. Signed by the Council President Joey Graham, Councilman Nathaniel Martin, Timothy Alston, Vice President Ernest Smith, Jay Gaddison, and Mayor Brandon King. It's an honor for this proclamation for University Hospital EMS. Give them a round of applause. Yes. Doctor, would you come up and after, and then we can hear from Chief Salika. Okay? Thank you guys. Okay? Let me give you this.
Thank you very much.
Okay. I want to get it all signed before I give it to them. So everyone got already signed. Okay. Just one second.
You have to sign.
You have to sign.
Okay.
So you guys want to have a couple words for.
Sure.
Well, it's really an honor and a privilege. My name is Dr. Dan Simon. I'm the president of the University Hospitals Medical Centers, and on behalf of our 27,000 employees and our senior leadership, we thank you very much for the opportunity to partner with your fire department and your EMS squads. We have medical command over 170 communities in Northeast Ohio. We're deeply committed to our communities that surround our hospitals, all 18, and our 50 ambulatory centers. We treat over 1.3 million people now in Northeast Ohio, and we are very thankful for the opportunity to work with you to improve emergency services in your community. We're very proud of our Level 1 Trauma Center. We hope to equip your ambulance with a state-of-the-art LifePak 15, which will save many, many lives. So sudden cardiac death occurs in over 750,000 people in the United States. Quick CPR by bystanders is critical to improve survival from sudden cardiac death, but that CPR only is helpful if we can defibrillate and shock that heart back into action. And this LifePak 15 is a state-of-the-art device. It transmits to our hospital via cell phone, and the fire chief will show it to you. And this will outfit your ambulance with a state-of-the-art device. So thank you very much for working with us. We hope to be able to continue to work with you in the future. And again, it's really an honor and a privilege to be here.
Thank you.
We pulled the check, Doc. This is for you guys.
Thank you very much.
We'll get a picture.
Absolutely. Can you get the whole council in there?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
Let me
come
go.
on.
Let's come and step right over here.
Come on, let's get the council in there too. Here. And here. Come on. Come on, everyone. Salika, you want to get in here?
Oh, he needs to get in there.
Come on, Mike.
And bring your defibrillator.
Yeah. Okay.
If you really want, we can hook him up and you can. Oh.
Yeah, hook him up.
Dan, you want to grab a picture? I do. Yeah. No, you want to take one.
Oh, okay. I didn't want to break the camera.
Just in case.
There you go.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you.
A couple other things that we're going to be doing here in the future is we're going to be partnering with the police department
Okay.
to put stop and bleed kits, tourniquets, in all the police cruisers. So if you think about the act of violence against the police officers, right? Lacerations, car accidents, trauma, but there are first responders. So along with partnership with the fire department, we're looking at AEDs, automated external defibrillators for the police cruisers, and then stop the bleed kits. So if they come across somebody that's injured, a car accident, shooting, stabbing, whatever it is, they'll be able to have the devices in their cruisers that'll be able to either help them or help any of your citizens. The idea, our whole premise is building life-saving communities. And we want to partner with every one of our communities in Northeast Ohio to build stronger life-saving communities.
Well, thank you. I think
All right.
it'll be for everyone that,
Great.
And I'll be hooking back up with you, Mayor, and we'll figure out some other things we can do.
Absolutely.
All right.
absolutely grateful for that.
And, Madam Chairman, would like to hear from Mike Salika too, our fire chief, okay?
First off, I'd like to thank University Hospital. This is a partnership that's probably, it was under what it should have been. We've been with University Hospital since the closing of Huron Road. And, luckily I've known Mr. Ellenberger for as long as I've been in the fire service, which is about 28 years. And he, along with University Hospital, is really motivated, and they really want to get into our schools, along with Stop the Bleed in the schools, and partnership with them, partnership with the fire department, whatever we need in the city. They're usually always there for us, and I can't thank them enough. Hopefully we don't have to use this ever, but likely it'll probably be used tonight, sadly. Other than that, I'd like to thank council for the proclamation, and the mayor for allowing, and council for allowing us to have this time right now. So
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Can you sign that?
Oh, it's,
He signed the form.
Oh, my bad.
Somebody hold it for me. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm used to it.
Thank you.
Okay, next we have remarks of public on agenda items, 2 minutes.
My number one question on resolution 319. My number one question in reference to the dam, I would like to know as to what the sewer district is going to do with the dam, I guess besides cleaning it out, and I would like for this council as well as the mayor as well, we are cognizant of the norms of the meetings, how they operate. I trust you will also abide by the same norms and exemplify professionalism. So whomever that shoe fit, wear it. So I would like for someone to articulate as to what they're going to do. Damn.
Any other comments?
This is about the supermarket?
Anything that's on the agenda?
Okay. About the supermarket, yesterday I was, went to the NOVA meeting and I was unsure about the first supermarket that they said that supposed to be coming to East Cleveland, and we didn't have no date, time, or no location. So I know it's a supermarket named Meyer, it's a supermarket, and if you don't got no, and then they were saying no developers, that we need developers here real bad. So Buyers is, they have suburbs supermarket, and you can look it up. They have organic food and everything. Yeah. I think that would be good if you don't have the name of the supermarket, because y'all looking for quality. We are looking for quality food, and they kind of, supply it.
What's the name? Myers?
Buyers. It's
Myers?
Buyers.
No, I said, yeah, Myers. Myers. Is that what you're saying?
Buyers.
It's with a B?
Yeah,
Okay.
Buyers Supermarket, and they is located in Strongville. They got different locations where the store's gonna be. They building up 3 of them already, so just look into it.
they're organic.
Yeah, they have all kinds of high quality food.
Thank you.
Good evening, Council Keller, everyone. Good evening to the panel. 319, the stormwater project. Like another problem that still is not resolved. My question is, did anybody bother finding out when this project is done with East Cleveland? Because we still to this date don't know. What other items are they going to tear up in East Cleveland, and the response of repairing the roads in East Cleveland? It's terrible out here. Thank you.
We have next minutes to be approved. We have April 2nd, 2019 regular council. Can I get a motion?
Madam President, I move that the minutes for April 2nd, 2019 regular council meeting be approved.
Second.
Second. Tim?
Councilman Austin said.
Counselor Austin?
Yay.
Counselor Martin?
Yay.
Counselor Gaddison?
Yay.
Counselor Smith?
Yay.
Counselor Graham?
Yay.
April 2nd, regular council is approved.
And next we have April 4th, 2019 contracts and property meeting minutes.
Madam Chairman, I move that the April 4th, 2019 contract of property meeting be approved.
There's a typo, page 2.
Approved with the typo correction.
Just the word committee twice.
I see it. Madam Chairman, I move that the April 4th contract property meeting 2019 be approved with the typo correction.
I second.
Counselor Austin?
Yay.
Counselor Martin?
Yay!
Counselor Gaddison?
Yay.
Counselor Smith?
Yay.
Counselor Graham?
Yay.
Okay, April 4th, 2019 contracts and property approved with the correction.
Okay, and the April 9th, 2019 finance committee meetings are not finalized, so they should not be included here. So what is the ETA as far as those meeting minutes for finance committee? The approximate time, those aren't completed, correct?
Oh, they drafted, so I'll be done tomorrow.
So those are drafted, they're not finalized, so we'll move to reports and announcements from Mayor Brandon L. King.
Thank you, Council President. I'll try to be brief. I have quite a few. It says here you want me to talk about the grocery store. Last night, Noah had a well-attended meeting at the McGregor to discuss the project that we have been working on with Noah for over a year now, and that is to get the county to come up with a policy that will best serve underserved communities as ours, policies that will help us to, will allow us to have healthy food options in the form of a bona fide grocery store. It was a great meeting, and the county's on board. We have more work to do in order to get this thing to come to fruition. But last night was a major step in that direction. And again, it was well attended. You had all the county reps there. I think there were 4 Department of Health, and County Council is in approval of our efforts. So it's very successful. Real quick, I'd like to go over some of these other ones. State of the City took place recently. Since our last meeting here, we had over 250 people there. Pretty amazing, pretty good. I wanted to circle back to this as I've been getting a lot of calls in the office. A lot of people I see. These stickers have been placed on vehicles of different types, and we are allotting owners of those vehicles 72 hours to move the vehicles or to get them properly registered. Just like to remind everyone that per the Ohio law and our law, if you have a vehicle that is not properly registered, it can be removed, can be towed if it is not properly registered. This is just a courtesy, just so that everyone is aware. It is your neighbors, for the most part, who are calling. They are tired of looking at cars just parked, right? Most of these are your neighbors calling. So, just wanted to get that out there. MLK, Martin Luther King Rehab, is still in motion. We actually got the signed documents from the county on the 50,000. That was the last hurdle, as you remember from the last fiscal commission meeting, that we were waiting on. Right, just as we passed legislation, they have to wait on us to sign it. We had to wait on it to be signed. The dam, Forest Hill Dam, that is, again, it has already started. Due to timing and Mother Nature, we had to start it. We need this legislation passed to do that. Many of you have seen the demolitions going on all across the city. Thank our residents and these neighborhood groups who have basically told us what they wanted taken down in their neighborhoods. We've been patching potholes all over the city, and I promised to have a number of potholes patched at our last meeting. This truck, the pothole killer, has broke down 3 or 4 times, and I personally watched the thing break down one time. So Emily, and I've been promising the residents over there that we get it done. It has not been done. It is still on the list, so I apologize for the delay in that. And as I apologize for that one going down, our leaf vac is back. Yeah, you can't get around some equipment breaking down. That's what it does. If you would be as kind as to call once your leaves are separated and raked to the corner of your property, we will send the leaf vac over to pick up the leaves.
Mayor King.
Yes.
I believe that there was going to be a schedule of leaf pickup. So is that still?
Yeah, so we had a schedule, and I think we may have kept that schedule for like the first month and a half. Then the machine went out, and we got it fixed, so we made another schedule. Now we're answering calls, and we got a lot of calls, and we're picking up leads where we see them. So we can talk about putting another schedule together, but at this point in the year, it's basically leaves that are left over from last year. So we're still trying to get those up.
I wanted to ask you a question on the pothole. You said the pothole kill is down. But what about that other truck we talked about over the last year or two? The truck that needed to be pulled by a bigger
That's
truck?
the hot patch.
How about what's going on
Yes,
with
so
that?
the hot patch machine is in the shop. We are still anticipating and wanting to do hot patch. Cost less, lasts longer than what we're putting out there now, which is the cold patch. And I do have the crews out putting cold patch all around the city. I'm sure you've seen them. It's just with the pothole killer, we could cover more ground in a short amount of time. So hopefully he gets his truck back up and running. And as a team, our crew with the pothole killer, we get this city patched up pretty quickly.
Thank you.
Thank you. So dispatch was approved, and dispatch is in the process of being moved over to the county. We have a new class of firefighters. We have 9 in the new class. 10. All right, we got 10 in the new class of firefighters coming in. We got 4 police officers in the new class coming in. We talked about the JAG grant for police body cams. Many of you have heard that our police department actually got in on a Cleveland grant for body armor, which is the vest. It's about $25,000. We are still looking at doing upgrades to City Hall. Still working on that. Our 2019 East Cleveland Clean kickoff is this month, the 27th and 28th of this month. We will be setting up at the MLK again. We invite our residents to come out and encourage us, bring us water, maybe a pie. There will be a barbecue on that Saturday. So please get active in your community, our community. We are planning the Memorial Day Parade, which will be Monday, May 27th. Everyone come out to that. New traffic control that has been awarded and is still slated to start in the summer. I'd like to once again thank Dan and Dr. Dan at University Hospitals for the LifePak defibrillator and all of their donations to the city, which are well over $20,000. I did speak with Dan, and they want to do other work here in the city around health and what they provide at UH. So he wants us to reach out to the schools and then set up programming at MLK, kind of get the kids interested in maybe careers in health and definitely eating better and taking care of themselves. That concludes my report, Council President, unless you have any questions or concerns.
Okay, so next we'll have, thank you for that, receipts of communication.
See, there's a couple of community events if people are interested. This is was sent from the Black Women's Commission. There's a personal awareness, safety awareness training for women. That's gonna be April 27th on Saturday. And it looks like the location is JFK Elementary School in Maple Heights. So if anyone's interested, it'll be from 9 to 12:30. And then the Northeast Collaborative Partners and Compass Cleveland, East Cleveland and Euclid. They're inviting participants to their Community and Family Resource Fair, Tuesday, June 18th, 2019, from 1 to 4 p.m. So there's a registration form if anyone's interested.
Okay, reports from council committees. Councilman Austin.
Yes, Madam President. General Services did not have a quorum for the last month's meeting. The next meeting will take place on Tuesday, April 23rd at 5:30 in this room. Hope to see you there.
Thank you, Councilman.
Thank you, Madam President.
Sorry, personnel appointments. Councilwoman Guest.
Alright, so the next personnel appointments meeting will be this coming Tuesday, April 23rd at 6:30 p.m. The next Ward 2 meeting will be that Monday, April 22nd at 6 p.m. at the Stephanie Touchstone Center. So I invite all Ward 2 residents, please come out, bring your concerns, any questions. I wanted to thank Alcoa Exterminating. They began trapping for groundhogs in the Millionaires Row area. So if they did not get to your groundhogs, please either give Dr. Dye a call at the clerk's office, or please feel free to give me a call at 216-205-6762. Just let us know where you spotted them, and we will send Alcoa Exterminating out. I wanted to thank Antonio Marshall from the Service Department. They actually sent the crew out to clean up dumping on Forest Hill. So several residents have come up to me to thank me for that. So I have to give props to the Service Department. And then also, Mr. Marshall had the utility company, and I don't want to quote, so I always get confused whether it's CEI or the illuminating company, but whoever services Carlian, he sent them out to assess the lighting outages there to find out what the street needs in terms of getting the lighting restored. I also wanted to give special mention to Bedford Fort. He passed 2 weeks ago. He was an East Cleveland resident. He was 94 years old. He was a regular at McDonald's. They had his funeral last week, so condolences to his family. He will be missed. Mayor King, Ms. Tony has called me about 20 times about Howard. So I would just like to put that on the radar that whenever, our summer maintenance comes. So Ms. Tony, you heard me say it, that Howard's definitely put top of that list for cleaning, etc. And also the Youth Opportunities Unlimited program for our city's high school students. If you want to sign your children up, please give Travell Harp at NOAA a call. He is heading that program, so if you are trying to find employment for your youth, please give him a call. And then also, if anyone is interested in the summer lawn cutting program, and I can't speak for everyone else, but in Ward 2, if you are interested in cutting lots in Ward 2, please give me a call. So that way I can communicate that to our lawn program, And that concludes my announcements.
Just your request.
All right. I chair contracts and property. Our next meeting is Thursday, May 9th. My last meeting was April 4th. We went over Resolution 0319 regarding the dam. And the dam actually must be, which is located in Forest Hills, it must be repaired or the city will be fined. The Northeast Ohio Sewer District, actually the dam is located within those boundaries. And so the Department of Natural Resources has issued an order dated October 3rd, 2018 to the city, requiring the city to perform certain remedial measures regarding the dam. So the Northeast Ohio Sewer District has assessed the work that's needed to be done, and it's actually, they accounted the cost at being $150,000, which is no cost to the city. So that's what so to answer any questions as far as that dam is concerned, I believe the location is over by, anyone's familiar with Grand Patrick Hill, in that area. So we went over that. We also discussed the salt bid. Basically, there's a program that the city can participate in. So when winter comes, instead of us going out as a city, as one single municipality purchasing salt, we can do it in tandem with other municipalities, thus lowering the overall rate. So it's annually a reduction in cost. Last year we missed the deadline. We participated in 2017 for the winter season. So we want to make sure we pass that legislation so that we're able to participate in that. And then we had an informal discussion about the NHC, Neighborhood Advisory Committee, regarding purchasing property through the land bank or through the city's land bank. And we just had a general discussion, an outline of how the process is, just really to educate the residents and see if there's something more that we can do to make the process more simplified for the residents. Again, my next meeting will be Thursday, May 9th at 6:30 p.m. Councilman Martin, Health and Safety.
Yes, at the beginning of the meeting, we recognized University Hospital EMS, and we had two doctors here, and they're doing great work in the collaboration between our fire department and our chief, Mike Salik, is still here. They talked about they showed a PAC thing that saves lives. We talked about a defibrillator, if you're familiar with that. Talked about an AED, and it's also their #1 trauma center that we didn't have one when Huron had closed down 2 years ago. So they're serving a great purpose. So we thank them. We thank for the collaboration and the good working relationship they have with our fire department. Also, you heard the mayor say in his announcements we have a new class of firefighters 10 and new class of police 4. So that's good news. So we're hiring new police officers and new fire. We have one of the best fire departments and police departments in all of Cuyahoga County. Our fire department response is 3-4 minutes I hear all the time, and our police is a good response. So we have something to be thankful for. So I thank them for putting their lives on the line and what they're doing to help our great city. Madam Chairman, that concludes the report of health and safety.
Thank you, Vice President Smith.
Thank you, Madam President. Our last Finance Committee meeting, we did not have any legislation, but we went over our the March month end report with Brother Charles Ian, the Finance Director. We went over several line items. Really want to thank former Councilman O'Mays, who stayed from beginning to end, as I encourage everyone to please come to our committee meetings because they are very, very important. So we talked about various grants and like the line items and the bill, the income tax, building permits, housing fees, went over the general fund revenue, police revenue, fire revenue. And like I say, just various line items just to keep the people updated on what's going on in the city. Yes, we are in the red, but we still have a lot of work to do. We have various court cases that our law director is working on. We have, our bills as of right now are all paid up, so that's good, but we still are in a very fragile ordeal here in the great city of East Cleveland. So please join us at our next Finance Committee meeting, Tuesday, May 14th at 6:30, right here at East Cleveland City Hall. Thank you very much.
Next, we have legislation, Dr. Guy.
Okay, resolution number 0319, a resolution to authorize the mayor to enter into a stormwater project agreement of the Northeast Ohio Regional Sewer District and the city of East Cleveland for Forest Hill Park Dam number 2, requested by Mayor Brandon L. King, sponsored by Timothy R. Austin, Councilor at Large.
So this is the first read, there's no vote. Can we move forward?
Yes, please, Madam President.
Okay, next is resolution number 0419 is the second read. The resolution authorizing the mayor to appoint Attorney Robert E. Davis pursuant to revised code 118.05B2 to fill the current vacancy on the Financial Planning and Supervision Commission established before October 17, 2017 as part of the city of East Cleveland's fiscal emergency requirements. Requested by Mayor Brandon L. King, sponsored by Councilors Chair Gaddison and Councilor Nathaniel Martin.
Councilor Gaddison, Councilor Martin, there's your name, what is your pleasure?
Okay, Madam Chairman, I sponsored resolution 0419 and move for its adoption.
Councilor Austin.
Yay.
Councilor Martin.
Yay.
I'm sorry, any discussion?
Discussion. I wanted to say something about Mr. Davis. Robert Davis has been a practicing attorney for over 20, maybe 30 years. He lives in the city of East Cleveland. He's been representing us very well on the CMHA board, and so he'll be a great addition to the fiscal commission. I needed to say that. Okay.
Okay, Councilor Austin.
Yay.
Councilor Martin.
Yay.
Councilor Gaddison.
Yay.
Councilor Smith.
Yay.
Councilor Brown.
Yay.
Resolution 0419 is passed. Resolution number 0519, second read, a resolution authorizing the mayor to accept the city of East Cleveland's fiscal 2017 federal JAG Edward Byrne Memorial Justice Assistance Grant and a subaward grant for law enforcement equipment in the amount of $14,232, requested by Chief of Police, sponsored by Councilors Joanne Graham and Councilor Nathaniel Martin.
Resolution number 05-19 bears the name of President Joanne Graham and Councilor Nathaniel Martin. What is your pleasure?
Mr. Chairman, I sponsor resolution 0519 to move for its adoption.
Second.
Councilor Austin.
Yay.
Councilor Martin.
Can I say something before we move on to vote? Well, it basically speaks for itself. It's a grant for $14,232. So it's all good for us, for our police department. Okay, no.
Councilor Martin.
Yay.
Councilor Gaddison.
Yay.
Councilor Smith.
Yay.
Councilor Brown.
Yay.
Resolution 0519 is passed. Resolution number 0619 is an emergency. A resolution agreeing to participate in the Ohio Department of Transportation's ODOT annual winter road salt bid for the 2019-2020 year in accordance with the Ohio Revised Code 5513.01B and hereby agrees to all of the following terms and conditions in its participation of the ODOT winter road salt contract and declaring an emergency for the public health, safety, and welfare in order to meet the ODOT deadline. Requested by Mayor Brandon L. King, sponsored by Joey Grimm, Council President. And that deadline, I believe, is April 19th.
Resolution number 06-19 bears the name of Council President Joey Graham. What is your pleasure?
I'd like to make a motion that we sponsor resolution 0619 and move for its adoption.
I second the motion.
Any discussion?
I'd like to say that you're correct. This deadline is Friday, April 19th by 12 p.m. So we'd love to have this passed.
Okay, Councilor Austin?
Yay.
Councilor Martin?
Yay.
Councilor Gaddison?
Yay.
Councilor Smith?
Yay.
Councilor Graham?
Yeah.
Resolution 0619 is passed. Lastly, we have resolution 0719 is an emergency. A resolution authorizing the mayor to donate out-of-service equipment, a 2000 Ford ambulance to Shaw High School for training purposes, VIN number 1FDWF361YED 23067, and declaring an emergency, requested by the fire chief and sponsored by Nathaniel Martin, Councilor at Large.
Councilor Martin, finish your name.
Yes, Council also like to be a co-sponsor.
Yes.
Okay,
Also would like to co-sponsor.
and Ernest Smith. Madam Chairman, I sponsor resolution 0719 and move for its adoption.
Second.
Councilor Austin.
Yay.
Councilor Martin.
Yay.
Councilor Gaddison.
Yay.
Councilor Smith.
Yay.
Councilor Graham.
Yay.
Resolution 0719 has passed.
Thank you.
Hey, next we have remarks and requests of the public 3 minutes.
Yeah, the chief wants to put a word on
I asked him, I asked him.
Dr. Patricia Wojciak, 1894 Farmington, 2 things. One is just a reminder that on the 25th, Dr. Pettigrew will be giving his plan of what he wants to do with the schools. It's April 25th at 5 o'clock at Shaw High School. Whether you agree with him or disagree with him or have no idea, it's a good idea to know what the plan is and to be aware. The other thing is the Forest Hill Avenue is just falling apart. There's a place that was repaired after a house was taken down, and you know, given the mess that we have on Euclid in that area, it would be really nice if Forest Hill Avenue would be passable.
I would ask Law Director, you were talking, oh, Mayor's right here, I didn't know.
Shirley Fitzpatrick, 1884 Hillside Avenue. Have a few concerns. I don't know if the mayor read the minutes from last week when I had brought up the issue about the burned out building, apartment building at the corner of Allendale and Euclid that's falling down. Need to know the status of that. When will that be torn down? I guess my main concern is it's falling down. Has the fire chief or anybody came out recently to check the status of that building? Next door, there's a family with 6 kids. It's summertime and they're going to be running around, and we don't want anyone to get hurt or killed. And at the same time, unfortunately, the prostitutes and dope heads go in there too, but we don't want anybody to get hurt. Don't want anybody to get hurt. So hopefully something will be done in regards to that. It's too important. I'm trying to understand why nothing's been done about it since October of last year when it caught fire. That is just dangerous. That's one issue. Need to know, I've been hearing that Walgreens is leaving East Cleveland. Okay, so that's a yes. Okay.
You get your response from the mayor.
Okay.
So we're not gonna let you.
Okay, my time. Okay, in regards to the traps in Ward 2, can anybody in East Cleveland call in regards to traps?
Yeah.
Okay, that's, okay. You gave a number, okay. And the lawn program. And the status on the apartment building at the corner of Euclid and Stanwood, where there was a lot of discussion last year. I haven't been to the meetings in a while because I don't go out in the winter. But anyway, what's the status on that? People have been asking about that. And my street things really aren't as important as that apartment building. Thank you.
But that would be Hillside, correct?
My street? Hillside, yeah.
And that part where
the holes and the crevices and all that. Thank you.
Juanita Gowdy, 1857 Roslyn, East Cleveland, Ohio, 44112. I just wanted to know, because I have residents calling me about the ground homes. How far are we? Because Roslyn was not fixed yet, and a couple other streets. So how far are we with the ground homes? And also the street lights on Roslyn, we still need street lights. So how far are we with that? Also, we mentioned a couple other things about the store again, you know, and I'm just trusting because we're losing so many stores in our city, and I'm just praying that some kind of way we need backup. Because when one go out, something should be coming in, you know. So I'm just praying for the stores. Because Walgreens is gone. They told us the last day was November. So if we can know what we have a backup for, what you have in store for a backup, you know. And also I'm concerned about the patches that's in the streets, because maybe we need more people to come out there, because when they patch one, they leave one open, and then they patch the other one, and they leave four more open, you know. So, you know, I hope that we can hire some more workers and get them paid just like we hire police officers, which I mean, you know, I ain't gonna go there. Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
The name is Pacola Stanberry, 1655 Bryn Mawr. I'm back again about the potholes. They did have down from the Hayden end, but up on the upper end where I live, it is some potholes, and in the front of my house and the next house, there's a lot of cars parked in there. So many people is coming in and out of that street, and it's a funny thing. All those people that lived on both sides of that street was homeowners. All of those people are dead now. And there's about 3, 4, 5 homeowners on that street now. 2 on the lower end and 3 on the upper end, far as I know. That's myself, Mr. Council, and Les. Now, for the last 6 or 7 months, something going on that little dead-end street. There's a lot of traffic, because I sit in my dining room at my window, watching my TV, day in and day out. Morning, noon, and night. Just like a whirlwind. Cars coming in and out. Now, what are those cars coming in and out? I see a lot. And I'm here to tell administration, city council, something is happening. And I noticed 3 or 4 streets, Bryn Mawr, Elsinore, Holyoke. I can attest to those 3 streets, because I go down those streets all the time. A lot of garbage, and ain't nothing being done. They said they cleaning up. I don't know where they're cleaning up at. And I'm gonna say this: it ain't the outsiders coming in, dumping the dump. Most of them live here in East Cleveland, dumping the dump. Why I say that? I noticed a couple of houses not far from me. They empty houses. Driving down the street Saturday evening, there's a lot of kids, people's in the back, barbecuing. Nobody live in the house. The next day I come by, ain't nothing there. but 3 or 4 cars parked in it. And it was at night. No lights, nobody live there. So there's a lot of squatters here in East Cleveland. They done live there so long, so I guess they own the house. They in and out. I guess they leave the water on or whatever, but they ain't got no lights. I guess they use lanterns. Something is happening in East Cleveland, and who is to check all of this stuff out? If I can see it, and we sit at the center and talk, the same people at the center, they say the same thing that I'm saying. See, I don't speak out, but they'll speak and they won't say nothing. Regardless, if I see it, I'm gonna let you know it. Whether look, hey, something gotta be done, so y'all need to do something about it. If I see it, somebody else seeing it, but they ain't saying nothing about it. But Stanberry gonna say it.
Thank you.
And gonna let you know it.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm a loving in Christ. I live at 1305 East 143rd, and I'm also a co-person on Neighborhood 8. And I'll talk about the leaf vent. I called 3 times last year to get my leaves picked up, and I have them off on the curb. I normally take care of the vacant house next door to me. But by now, most of my neighbors in the neighborhood club, we out there cleaning up our own leaves. They set their own winter. So I still have leaves. Now, I'm quite sure I'm going to get my neighbors get their leaves out. The question is, how long is there to leave that? They want to come down and really do the whole street or just a few streets who still have leaves with them picking up. How can I look out till I hear about these leaves?
Oh, council? President?
You get all of this, right? Okay.
Okay. I'm Chris Canfield here representing EC Disrupt again this week. We do have an office now, but it's in Cleveland Heights, unfortunately. But we have a mailing address here. My partner, Kevin Singleton, is here with me tonight, which I can't believe he made it through a whole meeting. And we have another young lady, I think, that's going to become involved. Last week I got sick, so I may have missed some of the ward meeting dates to talk about the Wi-Fi and dead spots in town. So if I can just get with each of you after, be sure I have the right dates and locations. Last week there was a meeting on the Noble Road corridor that was initiated through the Cleveland Heights grade, or whatever you want to call it. Basically, they just want to make sure their property values don't go down because of all those nasty people from East Cleveland. So, in some ways, it's, well, in 90% of the way it's a slap in the face. The 10% is that I think they need us more than we need them. And we need to never forget that. And I know the mayor knows that, and it was maybe I was a little too, my face, I didn't say any swear words, but I did have funny looks on my face. But it's just not good. It's not, we can't let them bully their way down here. You know, we need to make sure get not what they want us to get. You know what I mean? We just need to be on top of that as that goes along. In any way we can help, that's what we want to do. What's best for East Cleveland, not what's best for them up there. And UH tonight, it was timely. A big thing is, they were talking about this trauma stuff, but tourniquet clinics is a big thing now. They're doing it in all the schools for active shooters and all that stuff. We also need that for our citizens. And in certain parts of town, certain things happen. We need to have their peers ready to respond and save lives. You know, it doesn't matter what they've done or who they are, they still deserve the ability to save a life if at all possible. So Kevin and I are going to begin to try and get that initiative out there with the help of University Hospital, of course, Fire Chief, this guy's awesome. So we're just going to try and introduce positive things to the community. So that's what we're working on right now. So anything we can do, we're here. Thank you.
Justin Anderson, Local 436 Terrace Road. I try to go through as quick as possible. There's always so much. First, I want to thank Dr. Guy for reading to us how we should behave at these meetings. I know we all are adults. Thank you for spending the first 5 minutes doing that. Also, when you refer to the Sunshine Law training, have any other council people took their training this year? Where's the certificates at? Because I know a lot of people just say they take it, and I can't find any record of them taking the training. That is extremely important. That way you won't be saying things at these meetings that you don't have no business saying because you haven't took the training and all of that. The committee meetings, it's important to bring the head department to these committee meetings. Ernest Smith does a great job getting Charles here because when he can't answer something, he'll have Charles answer it. That's what you all should do. Health and safety, the police chief should be here, and the fire chief should be here if there's something pertaining to one of them, which it should always be. In contracts, whatever department it is, you should bring the department head so they can be able to give an explanation if there's some confusion. And as far as this, I worked for a city and we had the same equipment that East Cleveland uses. Our service department needs some type of extensive training because this equipment is breaking down too much, and it's not because of the equipment, it's because of them. I believe that they just don't have enough training using this equipment. And that's all it is to it. That's irrefutable, as was the statement say. But they need some extra training with this equipment. It's breaking down too much, and we need to do that. We also want to know about Dollar General. It burned down. Are they going to rebuild? What's going on with that? It's just a big empty lot on our main thoroughfare. And the cable, I want to know if someone can answer that question about the cable. What's going on with it? Why are most of the channels still out? Why aren't we allowing other providers to come in? And one other thing about the committees, when you give your reports for the committees, it's not a time to tell about all this extra stuff about this going on and that's going on and come to this meeting and that board meeting and all this other crazy stuff. You give the report for what's going on at the committee meeting. Everyone except one seemed to have done that. And I just thought maybe I'd throw that out there. And finally, Mrs. Hemmings is great. I like her as a person. She settled for $150,000 and it didn't cost us a lot of money, but we are coming up with a trial where we have over $20 million over our city's head. We already been ruled that we had to pay it, and it's coming up again. And because she didn't show up to the last time when they ruled against us and she didn't submit her discovery on time, now they're not allowing the city to present any new evidence for the case. So now we just have to use old evidence, which we already lost at before. And okay. So yeah, no, thank you. Sorry about that.
I know it's going to be taken to my minutes, and I have more short time than anyone else. It is you read the Sunshine Law to us, and you read the other norms to us. Then, when I look at when we get up to speak as citizens, the mayor jumps up and go over there. That's a disrespect not only to the citizen to hear what the citizens are saying, it's a disrespect for the position in which he holds in this city. Get up and walk in here and certain people you listen to. You must listen to all people that get up here to speak. You represent everybody. Number one, I would like to know out of the 10 firefighters, how many people of color, and I also would like to know, and the 4, how many people of color we are hiring in those positions. Also, in reference to the cars and trucks or whatever parked, if they're parked on public property, yes, you can tow them. If they're parked on the street, yes, you can tow them. But you can't go on people's private property and tow their cars or whatever they own private property. If that's the case, we have a dictatorship, not a democracy. We have rights. You just can't walk in and just take people's property. It doesn't work that way. And council, administration, if you want the citizens to follow the norms, you follow them. You set the example. You have 5 minutes to speak, and we have 5 minutes to speak. 2 at the beginning, 3 at the end of the meeting. Follow the rules and norm yourselves. And you sit up here, when you whisper and talk and pass notes, you are violating the law. The law says that you cannot pass notes, you cannot whisper, because you enter into an executive session. And this is an open meeting, transparent. So, if you want to follow the norms, you set the example. So, let it be told. Let it be said, I have spoken.
Danny Wheeler, are we cleaning our streets? They look awful. What's going on? Seriously, what's going on? I'm looking around here, it is filthy in East Cleveland.
Yeah.
What is y'all doing? What y'all doing? You distracted, Mr. Smith. My eyes are on you. What's going on? The streets look awful.
We asked afterward.
Okay, that's okay. Well, as long as you ask it then. But it's terrible. It is a disgrace in this city. And the Ronke, you need to get them out of here. Those guys are throwing your garbage cans all over everywhere. If there's loose garbage coming out the cans, if it drop on the ground, they leave it there and keep on moving. I even got some of them on my phone where I recorded what they were doing. I mean, you know, something got to give y'all. This has been going on too long. This city is a piece of crap. It's a piece of crap. I'm ashamed for people to come over there and where we live at, the way it looks, East Cleveland is a mess. And it's time for these citizens to start moving whoever needs to be out of here. They need y'all to go. Because enough is enough. You're going up on our property taxes and everything. And we're not getting nothing in return for nothing. You have nothing to help people with their houses if they need work. It's just a mess here. That's why I don't come here. I come here once in a while just to hear and what kind of lies is going to be told. I'm just keeping it real. I haven't been here because I don't want to hear the lies. But I want to just see. It's the same old soup warmed over again. So whether y'all like it or not, it's time for y'all to go. That's that.
Good evening, Council. Kelvin Irby, 14802 Elm Avenue. Beginning of me, Dr. Guy quoted rules of sunshine law, rules that should be followed. Now my rules and your rules are the same. Then our rules for living in East Cleveland should be followed by everybody in council. If you do not reside in East Cleveland, well, y'all know the rules. You're supposed to read them. And I don't know why council hasn't figured out that somebody does not reside in East Cleveland, went into executive session and had a talk about it. I won't say no names. I won't point no fingers. But if you say do right by you, keep it transparent, I understand the whole difference of transparent. I understand what clear is. So if you want to be transparent, be transparent. But if you want to be clear, tell these Clevelanders the truth. You can resign your position, any one of y'all, or we can appoint people back into positions that know the rules. Enjoy your evening.
My name is David. I resign. I live on 1877 Allendale. I'm a concerned citizen. First, I want to know what's up with that apartment building on my street, because like the door, like it's kind of coming off. And like 2 weeks ago, I seen a guy on the side of the apartment. He was taking scrap out of the building, and it left a huge mess. Like my street, it looked terrible. It's like we got the car, the wheels, car tires. They everywhere down the street. Down the street, it looked terrible. Up the street, cool. And I want to know what's up with what they put on the ground. What's up with all that that stuff they put in the ground, but they tear you can avenue up. And also I don't know what these kids gonna be like in 5 years, but something gotta be done as soon as possible. Because how the way university certificate, they move rapidly. Everything getting done. So I just wanted to bring that to y'all and let y'all know.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay. Next we have response of council and mayor to the remarks of the public. Well, I want him to start.
Thank you, Council President. Say it again, just for the record, for the residents that are here. Council, I mean no disrespect. As elected officials, residents, neighbors, friends, just a lot easier. I just step out of the way. It is your meeting. It's not my meeting, it's your meeting. The apartment building on Allendale, it is the one that I'm thinking of. It's on the corner. We have boarded that one up several times. There are, for various reasons that I don't know, people who keep pulling the boards off the apartment buildings. I'm not sure what they're doing in them.
You're referring to the building that actually caught fire.
Is that the one on corner Allendale?
So it's not on the corner, it's actually Hempstead's former building. It caught on fire, and there's a private house, there's a house next door. And not to take up too much of your time, but the roof is, and debris is falling, and people are going in and out.
Of a fire damaged building?
Yes.
I need to get over there and take a look at it. I'm not quite familiar with that building as I am with the one on the corner. So I will look at that. Ms. Price, I'm sorry, the leaf vac was down. If you will kindly call my office when your street is ready, we will schedule a time and I'll send the leaf vac out there to take care of the leaves in your neighborhood. I would kindly ask all residents who are faced with what they believe is some sort of mischievous or illegal activity to call your safety forces here in the city. They will respond. Call the police. You see something that's not right, that needs police attention, fire, EMS attention, call the police. I will be around afterwards for any further questions or concerns that any residents have of me. As always, I hang around if you want to talk, speak further. There are no other questions or concerns of me. That concludes my remarks.
Can you comment about Dollar General, if there's anything that's going on?
Dollar General is Eddy Road in Euclid. It's my understanding that the owners of the property are going to rebuild. I think we talked about this before. Dollar General was renting, leasing the property from the owners, which was Rite Aid, if I'm not mistaken. Mm-hmm. So my understanding that they are going to rebuild. We have no knowledge beyond that as to what they're going to put back in there, but that they are going to rebuild.
And can you confirm whether or not Walgreens is leaving the city?
So I really like, my understanding is Walgreens' business model is changing as Walgreens is located here in East Cleveland. The business model is changing, and my understanding, don't hold me to this, but my understanding is that they are slimming down to a drive-through only to satisfy medications for residents. That is my understanding of what's going on at Walgreens.
Medication being
key. Okay, so So it's still in the process of.
Yeah,
There's
so
nothing finalized.
Nothing finalized over there. And it's my understanding that that location will not be the drive-through location, but that's what their plans are. Is to alter their business model some. Also, there's some water from the water department up here, tablets for people who may want to reduce their water usage. There's some pamphlets right there. I forgot about that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Councilman Austin?
Thank you, Madam President. There was a few things that were a good thought, a good gesture. The Noble Road Corridor meeting. And it was my understanding they kind of came into the community because they wanted, it's multiple communities, not just East Cleveland, they invited out. It was also South Euclid was a part of the meeting, Cleveland Heights and East Cleveland. And what they're seeking is how can they increase the traffic to model some of the communities that have a lot of foot traffic that are doing very well. A lot of spaces are becoming open and they don't know how to entice businesses and entrepreneurship in the community. So this is an opportunity for those that have a business concept or something they want to bring to market to come into these meetings and discuss how they get their products to market. There was some very good minds in the room talking about how we move forward from here. So we are not the only demographic in which people are moving with their resources. So this is an opportunity for us as a team to come together and figure out in this little tri-city area, how do we make it better in the future through the Noble Corridor. That's what I understood, and I could be wrong. And I understand there was some frustration about how the city looks and going one block at a time. I'm saying, citizens, stand up. When you look out your door and you don't like what's going on out there, get your butt out there respectfully. Get your broom. Get your shovel and your trash can, and every day before trash day, you clean up in front of your house a little bit. Then you keep on pushing it out, and before you know it, your neighbors will get out there with you and start pushing that broom and working it out. And I believe, I ain't talking about what I'm going to do. I'm talking about what I'm already doing. Check my record, because I'm focused and driven on that. Get up. Clean up. Let's get it started like that. That's what I say. There's many groups, many organizations that come together like this very frequently and getting it done. So we need some more teamwork to respectfully make the dream work. And while I appreciate having somebody come by and get those leads, I'm going to go and see what we can do to help the specific blocks that want to get this done. I'm buying more trash bags out of my pocket. And on game day, I will be represented out there. We'll have on our t-shirts, and we're going to move around the city as we have been doing. The young man, I want to make sure that blocking them tires on it, we're going to reduce those tires. I'm going to use my own truck, my own gas, my own resources to get out there and help you with that. Help you mean you got to help me, help you. And that's where we are as a group up here. We all come together and plan our events and actually perform at those events in a way to make things better. I do need assistance in getting some more of the information so we can actually have a planned event. We make the whole city better. So there's a cleanup event scheduled for the what, Mayor?
The 27th and 28th of this month, we will be staging at the MLK. It is the annual East Cleveland Clean Kickoff. Please come out, help us clean up our city. Don't just talk about it.
There you go. And again, I am talking because I want to help. Because I wanted to put some skin in the game and not just talk about it. I don't want to come here and complain. I want to come here and do. Thank you, Madam President. That's all I have.
Thank you. Councilwoman Davis.
Thank you. First, I wanted to touch on the trapping of groundhogs within the Millionaires Row neighborhood area. So, in the very beginning of my appointment, I actually held my very first board meeting for the Millionaires Row Neighborhood Association, in which we brought out Lee Coleman, who is the president and owner of Alport Exterminating. He then laid out his plan, his timeline as to when he would begin trapping in the area. The group was then directed to submit any sightings, any groundhog sightings to Donna Allison. And Donna Allison would forward that information over to the administration or to the exterminating company. So those residents or residencies within Millionaires Row that submitted their address, they were actually serviced. So moving forward, if there is anyone who did not get service, please again within Millionaires Row submit your Groundhog location, sightings to Donna Allison. If you need her number, please feel free to contact me, 216-205-6762, and I will be more than happy to give you that information. In terms of the lights on Rosalind, I believe we spoke about that during a previous council meeting. And the problem with the lights on Rosalind is that because they are so old, they are not able to be repaired and they must be replaced. However, at this time, I believe the city is still searching for an electrician. Or have we found one? Okay, so we're still searching for an electrician. So that is the reason why new poles have not been erected.
Excuse me.
That's okay. So that is the reason why the lights have not been repaired, or the downed lights rather, have not been repaired on Rosalind. I believe that there is a functioning light at the top of Forest Hills Avenue and Rosalind, as well as one at the bottom of the street. So although the lighting is not ideal, please work with us. I wanted to ask Ms. Stanberry to please stay after the meeting. I wanted to touch base with you regarding the squatters and the drug traffic on Holyoke and Elsinore. And in terms of the blight and cleaning up the streets, if you see anyone, and I do this, if you see anyone, everyone, East Cleveland is small enough, you know who lives on your street. You know who's supposed to be there. You know whose car is whose for the most part. So if you see someone that's not supposed to be there or is not a familiar face and you see them going in and out of a house, approach them. Or if you don't feel comfortable approaching them. But I say that because I've done it. If there's somebody on my street that I do not recognize, I will go and I will ask questions. Hi, do you live on the street, or what are you doing here? And either they're going to answer or not. I'll call the administration or I will call the police department. So please take the initiative. Just don't sit in the window and watch somebody go in and strip a house and watch them, create more blight for the neighborhood. Also about tires as well. If you see someone dumping tires in a vacant lot, please take down their license plate. Take a picture with your phone. Call someone. Call your ward council person. Call the administration. So I think that is definitely a team effort that we all need to become more actively engaged in. And that concludes my comments. And then remarks to the public. Councilman Smith.
Thank you, Madam President, my colleagues, Mr. Mayor, Madam Law Director, our great clerk, Dr. Guy. Last but definitely not least, most importantly, my neighbors, the great residents of East Cleveland. Thank you for coming out. You could have been anywhere else, but you decided to come to the great city of East Cleveland City Council meeting tonight. I'll be real brief. Anytime it's a young man or a woman that comes in, I always like to acknowledge that young man or woman. So we have a young man that's in his 20s that came in, not only came in and observed, but that's why you can give him a round of applause. He stepped up to the microphone and voiced his concerns. Not only that, that young man has came. As most of you know, the actions that we put forth out on the streets, serving people food and clothes. Every time that young man sees me out there doing that, he always stops and assists in those efforts. And he also gets on me when he feels that he has to get on me, and that's what I love about him. And so keep fighting, young David. Next, I'll make this real brief because I've addressed this. Even some fellow residents, including Mr. O'Mays, has addressed this. The legislative body allocate, appropriate expenditures, voting, the control of real property, budget, things of that nature. The link from the people to the administration, everything else is extra. The streets, the lights, cutting grass, everything else, besides what we do at these meetings, we keep telling. I'm talking to Miss Wheeler since Miss Wheeler talking to me.
You're listening too.
Good, because the administration sit there every time, and I love when you come in. I love everyone that comes in with their concerns. But every time we show you to the right person, and you always come here talking about what Ernest Smith is out here doing. That Ernest Smith is out here on the streets 24/7, 7 days a week, busting my butt for the health interest rights of the people. Now again, like I've done in the past, Mayor King, there's a resident on Northfield that has concerns. If she's willing, if she's not, there's nothing you can do, but if she's willing, can you please talk to her and assist her after this meeting?
You need to assist the street, not just me. You need to assist the street.
Again, next coming up is our 10th annual Easter egg hunt that I'll be having all over Ward 3. We have little plastic eggs, and that's what we do every year. We put little candies and little change, little gifts and things carry on for the children. We also have our 10th annual Mother's Day event coming up. Last year we had a great event at the Civic Center. I believe the year before that it was the Salvation Army. This year I believe I'm going up to the ABC buildings and the Mildred Brewer Place to celebrate with our elders up there. Cars on properties, I've stated this before. I do agree that I don't agree that if the cars are on somebody's property that the police just had a right to just go in people's backyard and look at cars. And yes, a lot of neighbors do complain and call, but I've seen the police like on my street just go in people's backyards and slap some things on people's cars and actually pull the guns out on residents is crazy out here. I mean, they'll drive right past the prostitutes and go up into somebody's yard and put that ticket. I do like the fact that it's a 72-hour grace period and all that, but I've seen cars in people's backyards, minding their own business, maybe getting fixed on or whatever, and the officer said that he saw the car through the gate on Euclid. It's not right. Community groups, they are, yes, please join us April 26, 27. But you don't have to wait. There are a lot of community groups. People asking what we do on the streets. There's a lot of, I'm not going to talk about me, but let's just talk about our president, Joy Graham, and her organization he just walked in with Brother Walter Mill. They are every day on the streets cleaning up. Every day. Every day. You could join them. You could do your own thing. I know every time Councilman Austin says something about you all getting out there, you give them a hard time. I basically say the same thing, and you don't give me a hard time, so I don't see what the difference is. Get out here on the streets, lace them boots up, get out here on the streets and serve the health interest, serve your own health. I hear it. Amen. Serve your own health interest rights. We need all hands on deck. You cannot just depend on the elected officials. And I'm gonna close in this because 99% of the people in this room know this. I am you. I'm up here because I'm tired of talking. I don't just talk. I get out there and I do, even after I lost in 2012. The time for talking is over, sisters and brothers, ladies and gentlemen. The time for doing is now. Thank you. Thank you, Madam President. Thank you for my
All right, well, I want to thank everyone for coming. First issue, I guess people took issue with me reading or having the rules read. Actually, that was at a request of some residents. They felt that the meetings were going pretty well compared to prior years. They felt that the meetings were kind of certain disturbances that maybe we should start reiterating the rules. And it applies to both us on this side of the table as well as you all. So that was the reason why. It's not to chastise you. It's just something that we know that we need to follow. Mr. Anderson, want to make you aware that you said Neely Crest had no lights, so we took a field trip. You know, I like to go on field trips. Went up there, talked with the residents, a couple of them. They stated they had no problem with the lights, it's just the potholes. So that's overwhelmingly an issue across the board in the city. Cable. Ongoing litigation with the cable company. The owner of the cable company passed away, is deceased. The family, you know how that can happen when a loved one dies, how people will fight over real property. They're in ongoing litigation. Right now, they're accepting payments only for internet, because what happens is by them not being able to pay, let's say HBO, Showtime, whatever the big media companies are, those stations are starting to fall. Those are those franchise fees that they're starting to fall off. So unfortunately, there's nothing we can do at this point in time. If you want to keep your internet, what internet you have, you can make those payments at the cable company. There was a question, Ms. Melodian, leader of Neighborhood Age. See, we asked the mayor for a schedule, have a problem, issue with our equipment. So maybe we can come together and just maybe create a schedule, submit it to the administration, see what works for the neighborhood instead of the administration creating it for us, and then see if that will work, if the mayor's okay with that.
Yes.
Mr. Mays, you said how many people of color on the police force or the fire department? I don't believe that legally we can state that, but as far as, when we're applying, when people are applying for positions, we don't look as far as affirmative action, being equal employment. But I think you maybe want to go directly to the fire department for that. But I think what we need to really be asking is, how qualified are they? And I think that's one of the main things that we need to look at. And I do agree with you that we want it to reflect our city, but our city is ever changing as well. And we want the most qualified people, regardless of religion, race, class, or creed. So I just want to make that known. Let's see here. The developers. So that is still ongoing. I talked with Mick from the development for Stanwood and Euclid. The problem what they're not having a problem. What it is that they had to close development in other places. So they just closed Toledo. If you know, they're from DC, so they had to make that transition. They're in Michigan right now. They just closed Toledo, and I'm being told that they should be here within the end of the month, not the end of next month. So hopefully we can get something before then. And last but not least, I would like to echo the sentiments of my colleagues. Voice of My People, SOS Save Our Sons, we've been cleaning up consistently for years. We just really got back into a regular weekly routine. What we're trying to do now is we're trying to recruit younger children just to volunteer with us. So today, we've cleaned Hayden from Shaw. We've cleaned Mann Avenue, 134th, parts of Neelacrest. There was one place in particular that Mr. Anderson and Ms. Blahoviak, Dr. Blahoviak helped us clean. And since then, I've heard that it's back. After 2 weeks, it's back. So I don't want us to get discouraged. The trash is back, is what I mean. And I don't want us to get discouraged when we go out there and we clean. It's something within people that will actually litter where they reside at. It's something that you have to understand, that we're trying to change the mentality of our residents to take care of their own. And so when we do these cleanups, and like we teach the children, we go out there and we do the cleanup, and then maybe we'll drive past and they'll say, well, why is it dirty again? Well, that's not the point. The point is that we're out there doing something actively to help beautify the city. And also we're teaching them good work ethic. And it's not who you are, it's not where you live, it's the person that you're trying to be. And so I just want to make that clear. If you have any donations, as far as your time for one, equipment, anything that you think, for instance, this Sunday we took the kids out for a barbecue just to let them know we appreciate what they're doing. And so again, it's to be announced. We're going to try and get a calendar together for our cleanups. But just know, I don't know if you're on Facebook, hopefully we can post stuff on the website. There are some pictures on our council page as far as what we do. So give us a call and we'll come out to an area near you. I'm concentrating on Ward 4, but we will go anywhere. So just to make you aware of that. And then I want to tell you the demos. Okay, so we had demolition on the 15th on 143rd, 1253. These are the up and coming demos in Ward 4. 1248 East 142nd, April 16th. That's today. 1265 142nd, April 17th. 1883 Charles, 1851 Charles, 1860 Charles, April 17th, and 1274 East 142nd, April 18th. Now, we have a couple of clean outs, so that's what takes place before we actually demo. 13516 Gainsborough, that should be cleaned out. April 19th. April 18th, we should have 1717 Colomer cleaned out. And I'll read yours, I don't think you have. And also 13608 Garden. That actually happened on the 11th. So that's up and coming as far as, and I appreciate that the community development is sharing this information with council so we can notify you all and let you know. And the last thing about the trappers, you see the pink sign in your yard? They're looking for trapping. Maybe there's a better way we can communicate with the residents, because one of the residents came to me and says, I have this trap in my yard and don't even know where it came from. It has apples in it. Obviously that's for the raccoon. So the name of the trapper is Lee Coleman. You have the number to that for the trapper. Okay, so you contact the administration, contact council office. We can get you the number to Lee Coleman and we can go from there. And thank you.
I just want to respond to Justice about the sunshine law training. So that has been given to the council. You do have council already that been doing the training. The next one is May 14th at Lakeland Community College.
Thanks for that. All right, well, God bless everyone. Thank you for coming. Can I get a motion for adjournment?
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn at 8:05 p.m.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.